Total Smith here. Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy Downtown Deuce ASAP. Come on, man.
Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Can you feel the elevation? We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination. Together all the time together. It's us against the world, it don't get no better. We turned it around, that was the beginning. Coming for the crown, you know we winning. Time to put in the work, I'm about to go berserk. Taking our prisoners is my time. Yeah, I know that it hurts. Tearing back out the church, you don't wanna see me in my prime. The mission is to ring, we're caught in everything. In the city, supporting the dream. Vision who I never seen, we deserve to be king. It's all or nothing, no in between. The clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Now the clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Feel the elevation. We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination.
Whew. Wow. Guys, I don't know where to start with this one, man. I literally don't know where to start with this one. This was, oh my God. I don't have any words, guys. I'm going to try to come up with them as this episode kind of goes along, but I'm going to do my best. This was not easy to watch at all, man. All right. What up, though? Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Downtown Deuce Show. As you guys can see, I am solo dolo tonight. Boss is currently at the Nuggets Magic game in Denver. She will return next game. All right, guys, let's talk about what happened in this game. And first of all, chat, I see you guys in the chat, man. Saying a lot of things that I was going to intend to address in this game. I'm going to do my best to get to as many comments as I can. But, you know, it's just me tonight, so I'm going to do the best I can. It's going to be a lot to get to in this game, so just bear with me. If you guys want your chat to be submitted, you guys on the drill, put it in caps lock, repost, super chat, whatever you guys want to do. Either way, I appreciate you guys showing up after this crazy game that we just witnessed. So guys, man, the Pistons fall to the Dallas Mavericks tonight on the road in overtime, 116-114, and drop to 21-6 on the regular season. First of all, this game was a homecoming for quite a few guys, man. Cade, Ron, Daniss, Marcus Sasser, they're all from Texas, but it did not feel like it at all. There was no welcoming homecoming for any of these guys tonight. Nobody. Let's just jump into the initial thoughts, man. I'm going to start with this. You guys know, if you've watched me long enough, you know that I try my best not to get involved in the politics of this game. But tonight, it was impossible not to. It was impossible. It was very, very hard to just watch this game and enjoy the game of basketball, because tonight we didn't really see much basketball. We saw way too much other stuff, way too many shenanigans, way too many missed calls. You could argue calls on both sides, sure. But overall, it wasn't close. Pistons got hosed, man. They could have played better. They could have played much better. They missed shots. They were lazy at times defensively, especially early. They picked it up late. But there was just a lot of things in this game that really shifted the balance of this game into the Dallas Mavericks' favor. This was the weirdest game I've seen in a very long time, guys. This was the weirdest game I've ever seen. Probably in the last 5 to 10 years. The officiating in this game, man, it made me very, very uncomfortable, guys. I was very uncomfortable. Like, usually I would say I was angry, I was mad, I was pissed. I was just uncomfortable watching it. I've been watching basketball for 3+ decades, guys. I've not seen some of the things I've seen that I saw tonight. I mean, it felt like 5 on 8. It felt like 5 on 5 plus the 3 officials. Okay, let's start here. Tonight, guys, Ausar Thompson was ejected. The first ejection of his career. And instead of me trying to just describe it, just watch.
Let's watch. I didn't see any contact. I think maybe his forehead.
That contact was marginal.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen a lot of ejections in my career, in my time watching, my career following basketball and watching basketball, if you want to put it that way. I've never seen a guy get ejected for that. Now, granted, he probably did foul him. Like, anytime you have your arms around a guy, even if you just have, like, if you're like directly behind him, even if you are just touching the ball, most times you're going to get called for a foul. There's going to be some contact usually in that situation. So I'm not even arguing that. But when he walked up on the official, I was expecting a tech. I was thinking, why you don't walk up on him? You're going to get a tech. And then when he blew his whistle, I said, oh man, he got a tech. I mean, but then he threw him out of the game. Guys, I don't care what Ausar Thompson said. There's no way that John Goebel, that's his name. Remember that name, John Goebel. There's no way he should have thrown out Ausar Thompson for that. A tech, okay, fine. But an immediate ejection for what he said? Guys, he's never been tossed Ausar Thompson in his career before tonight. So I don't care what he said. The same way Isaiah Stewart gets officiated a certain way because of his rep, Ausar Thompson shouldn't have been tossed for whatever he said, just based on his track record. He didn't even bump him. He got close to him and he said something, but he didn't touch him. That was insane. And listen, you guys know LeBron James, right, is my favorite player. I've gone on record saying that for many different reasons. You guys know that. But guys, a few games back, LeBron James literally grabbed an official. He just grabbed him. He yanked him. Look at the picture here. He just grabbed him. Yelling at him, screaming at him for an extended period of time. All he got was a technical foul and was told to stop it. That was it. But then, on the other side, Ausar Thompson walks up on the referee, doesn't touch him, just says something to him, and he gets tossed. Like, what are we doing? But we're not done. We're not done. We're not done. At the end of the half, Cade Cunningham is talking to an official, just talking to him, right? After the play's over, everybody's going to the half. Cade's just talking to the official, trying to get some kind of understanding on the myriad of missed calls and foul calls against the Pistons that took place. And instead of me trying to describe that, just watch.
Midway through the second quarter. And then right before we went to break, right in commercial, Cade speaking his case about the no call toward the end where he got teed up. And then now watches the other officials come in. John Goebel, there number 10 on your screen, bottom right. He tees up Cade a second time, which is an automatic ejection from the basketball game. So Cade now out of the game. Ausar Thompson out of the game.
So initially, I thought that was on Cade. I had to correct myself. That actually was not a technical foul on Cade Cunningham, right? It was called on JB Bickerstaff. Here's the thing. JB wasn't even talking to the same official, John Goebel, who called the technical foul. John Goebel was not even part of the conversation He wasn't even part of it. He was literally walking by. If anybody, the official that they were talking to should have called a tech. And he didn't call anything. Why are you calling a technical foul with a play that has nothing to even do with you? And on top of that, Cade got another tech earlier for arguing another foul that was an obvious foul where he got hacked. Same official. And that's not counting the endless amount of times the Pistons got called for fouls on one end, or where there was a lack of a foul call for the Pistons on one end, and going the other way, a ticky-tack foul was called for the Mavericks. It happened so many times. No call Pistons, go the other way. Here's a foul. Like I said, man, I was trying to focus on this game, but tonight it was just impossible to do that. At the end of the game, guys, if you can read lips, you saw it. Coach Bickerstaff, he turned and yelled at the official and he said, "What you're doing is disgusting. It's effing disgusting." There's kids watching, so I'm not going to swear. Y'all know I don't get down like that. But he said, "What you guys are doing is disgusting." Something's got to be done, man. Something has to be done. It's got to be done. Absolutely insane. I've never seen that poor officiating that bad before, ever. Ever. I don't think I've ever seen, at least for the Pistons, I've never seen that. The league has to do better, man. They got to do better. And like I said, I try not to get involved in that stuff, but when you're watching it and it's this egregious continually, even I was hoping by the time we got to overtime, maybe you'll be even out a little bit and kind of even out, get some fair calls for 5 minutes of the 53. Nope. As soon as OT started, they were right back to the shenanigans. Right back to it. So I'm not going to blame this game on officials entirely, because even despite all that, the Pistons had a chance to win this game, which is crazy. But man, this is why we say Detroit versus everybody. This is why we say Detroit versus everybody. Because this is the second game now. If you guys remember the last game against the Celtics, it was the same story. Same story. Pistons just could not get a call to save their life. And for a team who likes to get up and down like the Pistons do, this flow was killed. I just saw it coming from KS25. You can't get a good flow into the game with poor officiating. 100%. 100%. 100%. It really felt like somebody didn't want us to win tonight. I'm just going to say it. It felt like somebody did not want us to win this game. And I rarely say that. But man, that was bad, guys. That was bad. But despite all that, if there is a silver lining to this game, the Pistons, when they were down 14 in the second half, they stormed back. Right? The lineup of Daniss Jenkins, Marcus Sasser, Ron Holland, Javonte Green, and Paul Reed, they clawed their way back into this game on the backs of their defensive effort and just their will. And they deserve a lot of credit, man. They deserve a lot of credit. So we're going to leave it there on the officials. All right? We're not going to spend all night talking about them, but we're going to get back to it. We're going to get back to it. Once you get to the box scores, it's going to come back up. But for now, we'll leave it there. But yes, Vulture, it was so frustrating to watch. It was bad, man. It was bad. D. Davis says they played bad, sure, but they would have had a chance if they went to the line. I counted at least 6 fouls. Even if they go 6 for 12, they still win the game. Horrible shooting and all. Right. Yeah. It's tough to win games like this. I always say, I feel like the officials are doing a good job when you don't notice them. When you don't notice them and there's pace and there's flow, that's the kind of game I like to see officiated. When they're at least calling it both ways. If you're going to let them play, let them play. Right? Swallow the whistle. But if you're not going to let them play, then call it both ways, bro. They didn't call it both ways at all. And that was bad. All right. So aside from that, guys, before we get into the box scores, just a few things. We got a chance, guys, to see a lineup that I have been patiently waiting to see. Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Ausar Thompson, Isaiah Stewart, Jalen Duren. I call it the Troy Weaver lineup. And They quickly, guys, cut a 9-point lead to 2 points in about a minute and a half. They didn't start together, but I think they will be. And I've been saying this for weeks now, for those who've been paying attention. I've been talking about it a lot. And I think now everybody can see why. Because it's the perfect balance of offense and defense, right? You have Isaiah Stewart at the 4, providing more rim protection for JD, or along with JD. And you got Jaden Ivey. He brings ball handling, he brings shooting, and he brings defense, especially now. They cut that lead to 2. And when they sat down, the lead expanded again for the Mavs, right? The Pistons gave up 35 first quarter points. Not their style of play. Not their style of play. And really, early in the game, the officiating wasn't as egregious as it was late. It was terrible late. But early, it was still bad. But still, it wasn't to a point where you're like, we can't win this game. We just can't win. But I like that lineup. I like that lineup. I think, guys, that needs to be the starting 5. It has to be the starting 5. It's got to be. Because I like the vets on this team. And we're going to get to that. I like Tobias Harris. I like Duncan Robinson. I like the leadership they bring. I like the experience they bring. The professionalism they bring. All good things. But if we're going to be who we want to be, which is a defensive first team that likes to turn you over and get out in transition and run, changes have to be made. Changes have to be made. Jaden Ivey, guys, is one of the most explosive, fastest players in the NBA. He has to be starting, especially when he's knocking down shots the way he did and when he's playing defense the way he has since he's been back, since he's been on the floor. That, guys, that we have to see it. At this point, I don't know what we're waiting for, but at some point, hopefully now soon, we'll get a chance to see that lineup, because that to me is the best 5 we have. It's the most balanced. It's the most true to our identity. So I'll leave that there for now. We'll come back to that as well later in the show, but we'll leave that there for now. Also, we got a chance to see a guy on the other side that a lot of people wanted us to get. Anthony Davis, guys. Tonight he had 15 points in 37 minutes on 7 for 18 shooting overall. He didn't score until the second half, third quarter. He didn't score until the third quarter of this game. I think the Pistons heard the AD rumors. I think they heard them. Because tonight they seemed like they were on a mission to keep him in check. And guess who was most responsible for that? Isaiah Stewart. The defense he played on him, he shut him down in that first half. He could not score. He could not score. He didn't get anything easy. Guys, AD is making $54 million this year. He's got 3 years remaining on his deal, including this year. Making $54 million this year, $58 next year, and $62 the year after that, which is a player option. Y'all still want AD? Y'all still want AD? I'm just trying to figure it out. For all those people who were saying AD is going to make this team better, how? How? What does he do better than Isaiah Stewart right now? I'm being completely honest. Just honest, honestly. Isaiah Stewart, guys, makes $15 million. AD makes $40 million more than Isaiah Stewart. You think he's worth $40 million more than Isaiah Stewart? Really? So I hope you guys now are understanding it's more than just how it looks on paper. How does it look on the floor? AD is still a good player. He is not the player that we are accustomed to seeing. I know he just got back, but you can still see it. He's not the same guy anymore. And he's definitely not worth $54 million. That's more than Cade makes. You better than Cade? Oh, okay. Just saying, man. We got to really be honest and really just think about what we're asking here, guys. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. And what I mean is for this team. I'm not saying player for player, he's better. What I'm saying is, who would you want playing the style of play that we play? Who was more effective tonight? You want to pay him $40 million more than Isaiah Stewart? You go ahead. But I guess I guarantee you this, Trajan Langdon won't. Guarantee you that much. So we'll leave it there. This is not a whole show on AD, but I had to shut that down because too many people were talking about how he needs to be on his team and he makes us better and we need to trade half our bench to go get him. Nope. No, thank you. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Guys, let's get to some individual box scores and then we will call it a night. Let's start with Cade Cunningham. Played a game high 45 minutes. Way too many minutes for Cade. I know we played overtime as well, but even with that, 40 minutes is still too much. But in that time, he had 29 points. He did not shoot it well at all. 12 for 30, 2 for 9 for 3-point, 3 for 4 for the free throw line. He had 10 boards and 9 assists and 4 turnovers. And honestly, that's not bad. That's a 2-to-1 playing 45 minutes. I'm not really mad at that, to be honest with you. He just didn't shoot it well tonight. Also had a block. But he had some crucial plays down the stretch that I think he really wish he could have had back. Right? Shots down the stretch. His game was tied and nobody could score. There was a lid on the rim. Just could not get anything to fall. Had some tough shots late. Probably should have moved the ball a little bit more. But once again, we saw the Mavericks, whenever there was not a true second threat on the court, they just doubled him. They forced somebody else to go beat him. And we didn't have that guy on the court. I felt like we had that guy on the bench, but he didn't play. Now it's Jaden Ivey. Man, this was tough, man. But to Cade's credit, he was getting grabbed all night, along with everybody. There were a lot of victims tonight, guys. A lot of casualties on our side who did not get a fair whistle. And Cade was one of them as well. That's why he got his first tee. But he was getting grabbed. He was getting slapped all night long. To his credit, he tried to do his best to will us to a win, but just didn't get it done. Right. Organic, he had a bad possession late where we were tied, and he just dribbled the ball off his hands, off his feet. And then another one was a bad, bad shot, layup. Didn't even catch rim. So he didn't play well, right? He didn't play great. And down the stretch, we had our chances. Just wasn't enough. So we'll leave it there on Cade. He's played great this season. I felt like since he was playing at home, he was probably trying to do a little bit too much, to be honest with you guys, from what I saw. But it just wasn't enough. And that happens sometimes. This was not a game to blame Cade Cunningham, though, for, by any stretch of the imagination. But there is something he can improve on, his late game play. And we know most of the season he's been great in the clutch. I think he's leading the league in clutch points in the fourth quarter. So he's allowed to have a bad game here and there in the fourth quarter, considering how he's played so far this year. So we'll leave it there. Guys, let's go to Duncan Robinson, and then we'll hit some comments. Tonight, guys, Duncan Robinson he played 13 minutes, and he had 2 points on 1 for 7 overall, 0 for 5 from 3, 2 boards. Once again, 13 minutes. He did go down with a lower body injury. I don't know what that injury was. I don't think it's been disclosed yet as to what it was. But he went down. He didn't turn an ankle. He didn't step on anybody's foot. I don't think anybody even touched him when he went down. And normally that's a sign of a calf or something worse. And I hope that's not the case for his sake. But we'll find out later. But guys, he struggled, man. Before he went down, he struggled. He has a hard time staying in front of athletic guards. I hate to see anybody get hurt, especially one of our guys. But I think we're going to see a lineup change soon that I have been hoping for. Maybe sooner than we thought. And I'm going to say it. It's time to make the switch, man. It's time to make the switch. Jaden Ivey needs to be starting. I think they were trying to bring him along slowly, but it's been about 10 games now, if I'm not mistaken. It's time to make that switch. Let him go. We're in December. Allow him to go in and make mistakes now and to feel his way and work his way into a rhythm. Game over game, especially the way he's competing defensively. Got to make that switch. And we'll get to Jaden later. But yeah, Duncan struggled. I've said it before, guys. If he's not providing you with spacing and scoring, he's not really helping you. He's solid defensively at times. But when they hunt him out, like they did last game, the Celtics, they hunted him out over and over and over again. And they were just, Jalen Brown was able to just go to work over and over and over again. that really compromises your defense because now you got to hedge. Now you got to help. Now everybody has to rotate properly, and the trust has to be there to do so. And even when you do so, the ball moves faster than rotations. So at some point, if they keep moving the ball, they're going to find an open shooter or open guy in the dunker spot under the basket. It's going to happen. And to ask your defense to continually do that over and over and over again is tough. It's tough. So I think at this point, I hope he's okay. Right? First and foremost, I hope he's okay. I hate to see anybody go down. Hope it's nothing serious. And hopefully, if it's not serious, the blessing in disguise is that we see Jaden Ivey in the lineup. We'll come back to that. Guys, let's go to Ausar Thompson. We talked about it already. 9 minutes tonight, guys. He got ejected early. In those 9 minutes, he had 8 points on 3 for 7 overall, 2 or 3 from the free throw line, 2 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal. He was on his way to having a good game. He was on his way to having a good game. He was on the glass, grabbing offensive rebounds, getting tip-ins, just sticking his nose in there, using his athleticism to be effective and impactful on the glass. And he did a really good job with that early in this game. And defensively, he had some bogus calls called against him. He was hooping. Yeah, he was hooping. He was playing well. So it's just unfortunate that John Goble decided to take over this game and take our best defender out of the game. Terrible. Terrible. So I'm not going to rehash that, but I think you guys all know and all would agree that was crazy. No way he should have got ejected for that. Absolutely not. Yeah. Vulture says, Ausar was hooping, refs just weird. Detroit versus... Yes, Detroit versus everybody. This is exactly what it means. Tonight is the epitome of what we always say and why we always say it. The epitome. 100%. So, Mosher, I don't know what he said, but regardless of what he said, his track record has shown that he is not that guy. He's not that guy. He's not a guy who's going to talk crazy to you. Much like Cade. Cade only gets teed up when he can feel there's something going on, whether it's intentional or not, right? Ausar's the same way. He don't get teed up. He don't get ejected, ever. This is his 3rd year. He's never been ejected, guys. How does that happen? On one play, if he touched him, if he like bumped him, if he LeBron'd him, okay, then I'm mad at Ausar. Didn't do it. Didn't do any of that. And if you guys saw his reaction, he couldn't believe it either. The whole bench couldn't believe it. Crazy, man. Crazy. So we'll leave it there on Ausar, guys. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is, man. All right, let's move on. Let's go to Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris, guys, tonight had an offer. He had 4 boards and 3 assists. Everything else was an offer. Everything else was a donut. 0 points, 0 for 5 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3, no free throws in 18 minutes. And this is what I mean. This is why I referenced him and Duncan Robinson earlier when I talked about their importance to this team now and how they help this team. And yeah, he was not impactful at all. He couldn't knock down the shots, but it wasn't even just the box score stuff. He was just not able to help us defensively either. He looked like Uncle T tonight. I'm gonna just be honest. He did. He struggled, man. He was late on some rotations. He wasn't helping the helper. He was swiping at the ball instead of moving his feet. It was just hard to watch, man. Like, once again, I said it already, but we're trying to be a defensive team. We have the 2nd best defensive rating so far overall this season. But when you have things like this, games like this is not who we are. The Dallas Mavericks had 91 points at the end of the 3rd quarter. 3rd quarter. And if you guys notice, second half, Tobias didn't play that much. Overtime, Tobias didn't play at all. Right? Like I said before, we beat teams when we hold them and get stops, especially late in games. You don't want to try to outscore the other opponent in close games. The Pistons have been, I think, they're probably top 5 or 3 as far as just close games, winning close games. You know how they won those games? By getting stops, by getting more stops than the other team, not by outscoring the other team. And a lot of time, Isaiah Stewart has been in the game. Guys, it's time. It's time. I've said it for weeks now. You guys already know how I feel. Tonight was another example of why I have been saying Isaiah Stewart at the 4. Offense, cool, right? But we all know throughout the season, there are going to be games when you struggle to score the basketball as a team and individually. But one thing that can be consistent is your defense. If you can play it. Isaiah Stewart can play defense consistently. He's a DPOY candidate this year. All NBA for sure. So even when he doesn't have him going offensively, which he has this year, you know you're going to get consistency on that end of the floor. And Tobias Harris at this stage just can't give us that. He can't stay in front. He doesn't have the lift. He doesn't have the lateral speed. I see guys that Tobias can't stay in front of that Stu can. And Stu is bigger than him. He's wider than him. He's heavier than him. But he still moves his feet better. So on the perimeter and in the paint, Stu is more effective defensively. JD also struggles when Stu's not on the floor because he has more responsibility. So much goes into why I have been saying this for weeks. Weeks. Right? And when you have a guy like Jaden Ivey, who looks like he's ready to start at this point, mistakes and all, because defensively now, he's giving you the kind of effort he's able to be a disruptor, right? He's able to move his feet. He's able to get out in transition. All those things. When he's giving you that, along with knocking down threes, which he had 2 more tonight, which we'll get to, Duncan's got to sit. Tobias has to sit. It has to happen. He started this game and had 18 minutes total. That means coach saw the same thing that I saw. That he's just not contributing to what you want to be defensively, your identity. He doesn't contribute. And when he's not scoring the ball, liability. Duncan Robinson, same thing. He can't consistently contribute defensively. And when he's not scoring the ball, liability. You want two-way players on this basketball team. Jaden Ivey, two-way player. Isaiah Stewart, now two-way player. Duncan Robinson is not. Tobias Harris has shown he's not. And that's just what it is. You guys know I like both of those guys. I like Tobias Harris. I like the leadership he brings. All that stuff. But on the court, you got to contribute to the identity. And those guys aren't. And I think you guys are beginning to see that now. Michigan Hendo says, Ivy, Stu, need to start. Hello. Welcome. I think we get him next game too. By default now, because of what happened to Duncan Robinson. Right? You guys know I was on Duncan early. He picked it up a little bit. Effort's there, not even questioning the effort. He just can't stay in front. Tobias Harris, showing his age a little bit. And it's okay, guys. He's 32 in year 15. It's not like it's a bad thing. He's just much better suited now coming off the bench. Going against second stringers. I don't think he goes 0 for 5 if he's coming off the bench. I don't think he's struggling to stay in front as much if he's coming off the bench. Just saying. So, Tobias Harris, I love you. I respect what you brought to this team. But at this point, those two spots need to be swapped. We need to see Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Ausar Thompson, Isaiah Stewart, Jalen Duren going forward. I'm going to be upset if we don't. I don't know what else needs to happen for us to see that needs to happen. I don't think I'm out of pocket. I think you guys all notice the same things. At this point, it's like, what's the wait? So we'll leave it there. I'm not going to get on any particular guy tonight in particular. I'm not going to go on anybody, but y'all know. Y'all see it. It is what it is. Guys, let's go to Jalen Duren. 17 points tonight, 8 for 20 overall from the field, 1 or 2 from the free throw line, 13 boards, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 2 steals in 34 minutes. JD did some good things tonight, and he did some bad things tonight. He got off to a great start. Great start. He had 9 points in the first quarter. A lot of it off activity around the rim. But in the second quarter, guys, he had some lapses defensively. I can recall on one Cooper flag drive, he provided no help side defense. right? And on the next play, he got beat down the floor by Gafford for an easy dunk. Can't have it. Can't have it. There were some foul calls that weren't called for him a few times. Because I will say this, he was battling, man. He was battling on the offensive glass, on the glass as a whole. He continues to get hacked and fouled and pushed and bumped. So many times I would see him try to go for offensive board, and whoever was by him, whichever Maverick player was by him, on his way up to try to get the board, push him in the back. No call. Happened 4 or 5 times by my count. Once again, the officiating was absolutely insane. Insane. But I got to see that consistent defensive effort that we saw from him for most of the year. I got to see it more. I got to see it more. It's the second game now where he hasn't really given it to us as he has throughout the season. Right? But last game, he had 3 boards. Y'all know Boss is usually the one to get on him. And I'm the one trying to talk her down. But we could have gotten more from JD tonight. As much as we got from the offensive end on the offensive glass, I would have liked to see more of that on the defensive side. And a few times he knew it. A few times there was a breakdown and he'd point to himself, my bad. He knew it, but it just happened too often. Happened too often. But, I know he got fouled a lot, got grabbed a lot. Got to play through it. Got to play through it. Claire says, JD was not getting calls. I think that frustrates him. Yes, exactly. He's got to play through it. He's got to play through it. I know it was egregious tonight. It's going to happen. You know who you play for, especially on the road. Come on, man. Come on. Right? Like a guy like Isaiah Stewart, man. He doesn't let that bother him. I need JD to get to a point where it doesn't affect his play. And he just keeps playing defensively. Like I said, offensively in the glass, he was great. Fighting in tooth and nail, clawing for everything. But we got to see more of that dog that we saw at the beginning of the year. Vulture, I'm with you. I won't say he looks soft. But he didn't look like the guy we've seen all year. I'll give you that much. So we need that consistency, man. Yeah. Organic says not getting fouls doesn't mean play soft down the stretch of the game. I mean, I'm with y'all. I'm with you. So it's got to be better, man. This was a team. The whole team was responsible, man. The refs were a big part of it, but particularly the starting group, I felt hurt us more than anything tonight. Whether it was Ausar being ejected, which is not his fault, whether it's Duncan not being able to stay in front, whether it's JD not giving us that consistency, because you guys know we got back into this game when those guys were sitting down. And that's just keeping it a stat, right? So we got to see more from JD consistently. The 17 and 13 is nice on paper, but we just need it. We need it consistently, bro. That's the only thing I'm talking about. So let's get to some bench guys. Actually, first, let's get to some comments, guys. I'm going to do the best I can to get to some comments. Pierce says, JD better not have another game with 0 blocks this season. Hip Hop says, what does Hip Hop say? Hip Hop says, the refs treat Duren like they used to do LeBron before Bron learned to exaggerate contact. Could be. Doug says, glad they play Saturday. Yeah, they need to erase this one quick. Because that was tough, man. That was tough. All right. Thugway says, Duren isn't active consistently enough to get that. Gotta be more active, man. Gotta be more active. Okay. Let's get to some reserves, guys. Okay. Let's just go down the line here. Let's start with Paul Reed. Guys, tonight, Paul Reed had 4 points on 2 for 3 overall, 1 board, 1 steal in 6 minutes. Once again, I would have liked to see more Paul Reed. Every time he comes into the game, guys, he is a positive. He doesn't hurt you. He is a positive. And honestly, guys, take this for what it's worth. Every starter but one tonight was a negative in the plus-minus department. That is not a determination for everything. I get it. But that's bad. And there were like 5 or 6 guys on the bench, off our bench, who had a negative plus-minus. 6 guys had a positive plus-minus. Sorry, I said negative. 5, 6 guys off our bench had a positive plus-minus. So our bench is the reason we got into this game. I would have loved to see Paul Reed more. Again, he's shown he can do it. And honestly, once again, that's another benefactor of having Isaiah Stewart start. If you have him start with JD, your first big off the bench is who? Paul Reed. So many There's so many benefits. It's a domino effect of having Isaiah Stewart start. We talked about it. More defense, helps JD out on the boards, less foul calls on JD, less responsibility for JD, set the tone, get Paul Reed more minutes, get Tobias Harris playing against second stringers. I mean, come on, man. Come on. So I would have liked to see a lot more Paul Reed because he's earned it, man. He's shown when guys like JD went down that he can do it. When Stu went down, he could do it. He had a 28-10 game when one of those guys went down. Nearly came to his career high. Hit 30 points one game when they were down. He's shown it. Why is he playing 6 minutes? I'm just saying. So we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. Let's move on, guys, to the guy we're just talking about. Isaiah Stewart, guys. Isaiah Stewart. 14 points, guys, on 5 for 10 overall. 1 of 3 from 3. 3 of 4 from the free throw line. 7 boards. 1 assist. 1 turnover. 2 steals. 2 blocks. In 30 minutes. 30 minutes, guys. When you're playing that many minutes off the bench, I'm like, you need to be starting, bro. You need to be starting. He was one of the biggest reasons we were even in this game when we were in this game. He looked good again out there with JD. Protecting the rim. Holding them guys to 1 shot. I said it before, guys. How many times in the history of the NBA has a guy who was a candidate for DPOY, which is a real thing, that's a candidate for all NBA defense? How many times in the history of the game that you guys can remember did that guy not start? We said it last year. The only reason he wasn't a candidate last year was because he simply didn't play enough minutes. How many times has it happened before? Especially on a team that identifies with exactly who he is. I just don't know what we're waiting for. I don't know what the holdup is. Tonight he came in and was huge. Came in the game right away, got a bucket. Right? Looked great on both ends of the floor, man. I just don't understand. I don't know what he needs to do at this point. His ability, guys, to finish around the rim, now even in traffic, has vastly improved. And his post game is becoming more of a strength. So even offensively, he's giving you more. He doesn't jump the highest, but he knows how to use his body and his strength to get shots up over guys. On one play, caught it in the post. AD was right there. He put a shoulder into his chest, bullied him out the way, had him off balance, and scored right over top of him. And then the other end, he made AD his latest victim with a block at the rim. Isaiah Stewart was turned around. He was trying to play help side defense because there was penetration in the lane. He stepped up. The pass got dropped off to an AD who was coming right at him. Isaiah Stewart turns around, gets up, and blocks the shot on Anthony Davis, who's bigger, taller, and longer than him. And Stu was out of position. Still blocked it. They called a foul, by the way, on that. They called a foul on that. Had to go to the booth to review it just to see what I saw live. That was not a foul. But that's what Isaiah Stewart does. That is who he is. If he's playing 30 minutes a game, why isn't he starting? When we have Paul Reed waiting in the wings, coming in, doing what he always does right away. It needs to happen. Plus 10. I don't get it. Like I say, I'm not the coach. I don't know how much. I don't know what he knows. I don't know what coach knows. Coach knows way more than I do. I'm not even questioning that. I'm just saying I don't understand. Also shooting a career high from 3. 40%. I don't get it. I don't know what else to say. I'm just hoping at some point the guy who identifies most with what we want to do and how we want to play starts. That's all I'm asking for. That's literally all I'm asking for. So we'll see. We'll see, man. But like I said, I want to see Cade, Jaden, Ausar, Stu, and JD. I've been asking for that for weeks. You guys know, weeks. And hopefully tonight was enough to put it over the edge. We'll see. Isaiah Stewart played great tonight. He was 3 or 4 from the line. Yes, he missed the one free throw that could have put us up 1, maybe win the game. but he didn't miss both of them. He missed the first, knocked down the second, and he's shooting pretty well from the free throw line this year. So I'm not gonna get on him for that. It would have been nice to have it, yes, 100%, but could have been worse. And if he doesn't do what he did tonight, we're not even in this game. Not even in this game. So I'm not gonna get on Stu for that. But he played great. He played great tonight. Mega Hustler says, I heard John Goble got the belt tonight. He might as well. Check the Mavs locker room. Check their admin. Check their socials and see if he got it. Let me know, y'all. Let me know. Terrible. All right. Let's keep going. Guys, let's go to Ron Holland. A guy who I thought could have gotten the belt had the Pistons won this game. Ron Holland was absolutely incredible tonight. Like Stu, Ron is the ultimate deceiver when it comes to box scores. Had the highest plus minus on the team tonight. Plus 18. Played 20 minutes. I would have liked to see more, especially with Ausar leaving early. 12 points, 5 for 11 shooting. He missed his 2 threes, 2 for 3 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds. 12 and 7 in 20 minutes is crazy. But aside from that, man, just his approach to the game, man. He was a menace, guys. He was a menace tonight. He also was a victim of John Goble. He also was getting hacked all night. He also got mauled on a drive. No call. Elbow just gets smacked. No call. In the very next play, like I mentioned earlier, the very next play down the court, Daniel Gafford goes up for a shot. There's a whistle. So many times we saw the Pistons get fouled and they're getting out and running on the other side, and then there's a foul for them. It happens so many times. Terrible officiating. You could even hear Ron say to the official, so he can slap my hand, he can slap my arm, and it's not a foul. You can literally hear him say it. He also got erased by Anthony Davis. AD erased him on a screen. Ron Holland's trying to navigate a screen, top of the key. Anthony Davis pushes him down. No foul. That's what I mean, guys. It was so many plays. It was so many plays where it's like, huh? Come on. Insane. Yes, everybody was getting hacked. Everybody. Al says, play him more. Yes, I totally agree. Totally agree. He was very, very good in this game, guys. His finishing is insane, too. Right hand, right foot, left foot, off the glass. It doesn't matter, man. He's a really good finisher in traffic on the break. And he was one of the guys that was helping us get out in transition. I don't know what happened tonight with the rotations, man. It was strange. It wasn't as bad as the officiating, but there was a lot of things that I noticed, like, why is this guy in the game for this guy? Like I said, Coach knows more than I do. I'm just saying. I would have liked to see a lot more guys get more opportunity than they got. So, like I said, though, Ron was great. Ron was great in this game, man. He just continued to fight, continued to battle, continued to just give all effort. And it showed. I'm so annoyed, guys, with this game. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm trying my best to keep it G, but it's tough. All right, let's move on. Let's go to Javonte Green. This was one of his, I would say, worst games of the year. It wasn't because he didn't give effort. He just wasn't able to convert. And he was just a second late, step late, on some plays. But he gave effort. He didn't play well. He had 3 points in 18 minutes, 1 of 5 overall, 0 for 2 from 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. He did have 6 boards, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 3 steals. That's something you can count on him for. 3 steals was huge. And he played solid defense. It was just a lot of the plays that he usually makes just weren't getting through, weren't following through, right? He had an open 3 late in this game. I thought he was going to knock it down. He clanked it. That's usually money. The angle 3, that's his spot, right? Didn't go down. So, once again, he wasn't playing out of character. It was just, he just couldn't get things to go his way more than anything. Yeah, he was middle of the pack tonight. Right. Exactly. He played tough. He played gritty. Exactly. I was thinking, we had Mike James and Lindsey Hunter. They were the pit bulls. I'm going to start calling Ron Holland and Javonte Green, the grit bulls. The grit bulls. Because they always bring that gritty style of play. Even if it doesn't show up in the box score, even if it doesn't always positively impact the game, which usually it does. For Javonte, 80%, 90% of the time, it impacts in a positive way. Tonight, it just didn't. But he brought the effort. He brought the gritty effort, and so did Ron. And that is why I'm calling those guys going forward the grit bulls. So I'll leave it there in Javonte. Moving on, guys. Caris LeVert. Caris LeVert, guys. Tonight, Caris LeVert had 6 points on 3 for 8 overall, 0 for 2 from 3, 3 boards, 3 assists in 27 minutes, guys. Tough. Caris LeVert played too much tonight. He played too much tonight. He played too many minutes tonight. This was not one of his good games. He made some shots late. He made some tough shots. He made 2 tough shots late in this game. But I don't think he did enough for 27 minutes. And it's fine. Like, you don't always play well. But 27 minutes is a long time, man, when you're not really producing a lot. He was solid defensively. He was okay. Right? But we just didn't get enough. I felt Jaden Ivey should have played much. Yes, somebody just said it. I felt Jaden Ivey should have gotten a lot more of those minutes. Those guys do a lot of the same things. I just feel that at their peak, Jaden Ivey's better. Right? I feel like at their peak, Jaden Ivey is better because he's more athletic. He's a better shooter. He, I think, will be a better defender when he is at full strength because he's just simply more athletic. And he played well tonight, which we'll get to Jaden. But I felt like Caris LeVert played way too many minutes, man. I've said all year, like, if you're not having a good game offensively and you're playing a ton of minutes, you got to be doing a lot more on the other end. You have to. I've said it about Tobias Harris in the past, again tonight. I've said it about Duncan Robinson in the past. I'm going to say it about Caris LeVert. 6 points in 27 minutes, and you're not really impacting defensively, it's not enough. Not enough. And Jaden Ivey playing 14 minutes is nowhere near enough for what he did. Jaden Ivey played half the minutes Caris LeVert played and scored more points. Had more steals, had more blocks in half the time, and didn't play much in the second half. I don't know. I don't get it. So we'll get to Jaden in a second. But once again, Caris played too much, man. Played too much tonight. So we'll leave it there, guys, on him. Let's go ahead and move it on to Jaden Ivey. Let's go to Jaden Ivey now. Tonight, guys, Jaden Ivey finished with 8 points on 3 for 6 shooting overall, 2 of 4 from 3, shooting 40% overall from 3 this year, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 1 block. No turnovers in 14 minutes. And most of that was in the first half. He was a part of that unit that I mentioned in the first half that got this team back into the game. Cade, Jaden, Ausar, Stu, JD. That was the unit, guys, that got us back into this game after we went down super early in this game. They came in, or Jaden came in, and with that unit, they played great. Stu and Jaden, along with the other starters, they played great. You saw that looked like Pistons basketball because you saw them getting into guys defensively, including Jaden. He really has committed his game to that end of the floor. He's committed his approach to that end of the floor. You see it. He's just active. He's just disruptive. He's moving his feet. He's not swiping down. He's not guarding with his hands. He got caught with some fouls. A few of them were ticky-tack, right? But his impact was great, man. Getting out in transition, which is what we love to do. Again, half court's cool, right? The live pick and roll with JD and Cade that's cool. You know, start cutting to the hoop. If it's not there, that stuff's cool. But we are best when we are running, turning teams over and getting out and running. And when that group played together, it looked like Pistons basketball. And when they weren't, especially in the first half, aside from the bench brigade helping us late, didn't look like it. Didn't look like it. So those guys need to start. Organic says, JD, Ausar, J.I., Stu, and Cade started to cook. Yes, they did. So JB immediately sat JD and Cade. Oh, man. Michael says, JB picked Sasser over Ivy in the second half, though. Something must be going on with this. I don't know. I'm not going to jump to that conclusion. I don't want to assume that. I'm not going to assume that. If anything comes out, we'll see. It would make sense, but I hope that's not the case because we need J.I. to be healthy. So hopefully he is. He looked fine. He looked fine to me. He looked perfectly fine. He didn't seem like he was favoring anything. He wasn't favoring any leg. He wasn't favoring his leg or he wasn't. It was none of that. He looked fine. So I'm going to assume that he's fine until further notice. But either way, man, you got to play him more. It seems like coach trusts Caris more for some reason. Maybe because he feels like he understands what he wants more. But once again, guys, late in the game, when Caris was playing, because remember, Duncan was out. Duncan Robinson was out. How does Duncan Robinson go down early in his game and Jaden Ivey play 14 minutes? He's played 20 plus minutes now in the first a few games. So even just giving him give him overtime. Let him go in overtime. Let him go. It's early in the year. This is the time to do it. I don't understand. Like I said before, I'm okay with us losing a game or two here or there if it means it helps Jaden Ivey's progression later in the year. We're not playing for December. We're playing for March, April, May, and June. He needs those reps now in late game situations. He was a big part of why this even was a game despite the officials. I don't get it. I don't get it, man. So Jaden Ivey has to play more. He can't play 14 and Caris plays 27 in a game where Jaden's playing much better than Caris overall. It can't happen, man. I just don't understand it. So I'm going to have my eye on that. If there's something wrong, we'll see what happened. But that's not a good look, man. I ain't going to lie to you. Organic says JB happened to Ivy. It doesn't mean he's hurt. It's just, it looked like it was a rotation he went with. Vulture says JB trusts Jenkins more than Ivy in the clutch. We're going to get to DJ. DJ played very, very well. You know what? Let's go to him now. We talked about it. Let's go to him now because Daniss Jenkins in his homecoming played great. I thought he played a very good game. Very good game. Guys, tonight, Daniss Jenkins, what did he finish? Let me get this off here. Tonight, Daniss Jenkins, guys, had 11 points, 4 for 8 overall, 1 of 3 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, 1 steal in 19 minutes. Second highest plus minus for the team. Daniss Jenkins balled out, man. He wanted this game. He wanted this game. You could see it. You could see it, man. He is a big part of why we were able to get back into this game tonight. Huge reason. He also was a victim of John Goble. He had a play against him that had to be overturned. He had a nice steal, guys. Help side steal, backside on Daniel Gafford, where he swiped, hit the ball cleanly, right off of his knee, off of Gafford's knee. And the same official, again, John Goble, called it off Daniss. They had to go to review because the Pistons had to, hey, we got to review this. He was right on top of the play, and he called it off of Daniss Jenkins. Ball clearly went off of his knee, Gafford's knee. I saw it live. And I'm like, how do you? And it's funny because after he got the Pistons' attention, the bench attention, to say, hey, review. If you watch, you saw him stare down that referee for a second, just looked at him. He glared at him like, bro, what are you doing? Like, if you watch the game, you know what I'm talking about. He just looked at him as if, and this was later in the game, so many other plays that happened before this to lead up to this, right? So, but overall, Daniss Jenkins played great. I thought he played great. He had a huge shot late in this. I think he knocked down a 3 in this game. Knocked down a big 3. Had a drive, went straight to the hoop, bullied his way to the hoop. Nice bucket. Knocked down his free throws when he needed them. He played well. I would have liked to see more of him and Jaden Ivey together instead of him and Caris LeVert because of how they looked tonight, because of how they played tonight. So no issue with Daniss Jenkins in this game, man. He didn't play perfect, but he was a huge part. Him, Marcus Sasser, Javonte Green, Ron Holland, and Paul Reed. Those are the guys. That unit got us back into this game. That unit got us back into this game. And no, we're not comparing Jenkins and Ivey, guys. It's not about either or. For me, it's about Caris or Jaden, because those are the guys who have the similar skill sets. Once again, I just feel that Jaden is more effective right now when he's playing. I think he's had enough games under his belt to go ahead and take more of those minutes, especially in the game when he's playing well. Tough loss, man. Tough loss. This was the most frustrating game of the season, by far. By far. It didn't come down to one guy or one play or one official. Well, one official for sure. But this game was still winnable. So if I'm the Pistons, I'm running from this game, right? This was good for them to go through. It wasn't as if it's the first time dealing with the officials, but to go through all that and to still have a chance to win has to be what the Pistons hang their hat on at the end of the day. It's got to be that. So that's all I got for you guys tonight, man. This is a shorter episode. I don't really have much more than that. The Pistons, their next game is against Charlotte. They play against the Hornets. And that game will be played at LCA at home. And I, guys, am expecting the Pistons to take care of their business. Bring all that anger, irritation, bring it home. Get back into your own beds, sleep in your own beds, get that home cooking, scrub this game away, get your main guys some rest. Got a day off tomorrow. And Boss and I will be back here post-game to break that all down for you guys. So make sure you guys have your alerts turned on so we can break that game down together as well. But guys, this was tough. This was tough, man. So I've laid it out there for you guys as far as what I think. You guys let me know what you guys think in the chat, in the comments after this is over, after we all calm down a little bit. But that's all I got for you guys. So you guys have a great night. Everybody be safe, get some rest, and I will see you guys Saturday night. And y'all know the drill, man. Detroit versus everybody. Peace.
All the dirty work, all dog. I'ma dive on the floor, go try to block every shot, and I'ma be physical with you the whole game. You know Stu gonna be physical with you. When you think of the Pistons, you think of just hard work and just gritty basketball. That's just the identity you gotta have when you put on that jersey.
I'm not your average breed of King 9. Not a good dog, I'm bad boy for life. I set the tone, don't care about no tick. Let it be known, I get my respect. Come in the lane and see I don't bluff. If you retaliate, that's on ya. Talking pundits, I hear you're ashamed. Talking that shop, you must run this way. Tryna tell ya, if the dog palm, mess around, find out, if the dog palm, mess around, find out, for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better crop a hill, cause I'm like that. When you're ready for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better crop a hill, cause I'm like that.